2025, we have a World Indoor Championships happening indoors at the end of March, but we have so many names who are, seems like so many top athletes that they're not even entertaining the idea of like running world indoors. And in the women's 60 specifically, right? We've seen a couple people, dip their toes already, but we're just not seeing some of the top women. Now, we saw Julien Alfred. She ran the 300, right? 300 indoors at New Balance. Last year, she was the world indoor champion, and she was, of course, the Olympic champion in the 100-meter dash. So you could say she is the fastest person in the world right now, but she's not running indoors this year. But her main event, the fastest event, right? The one that says who's the fastest in the world, or at least indoors, she's not running it. Just mentioned Sha'carri, who she beat out at the Olympic Games. She doesn't even. She's like, I don't even think she's touched indoors.
She's never run an indoor race since her freshman year of college.
Literally, which is crazy.
If so, she did it so far under the radar. They took away everybody's cell phones before they got in that meet. They said, look, it was like one of those like private party situations.
So if we're talking about the top two, literally the fastest women in the world coming off of 2024, Olympic gold, Olympic silver, they're not running indoors. Like, who is going to be running indoors? And should they even, entertain indoors in 2025?
Well, let's just start here. Let's be 100% honest about what this discussion really is, because it feels like nobody cares. That's what it feels like. It feels like indoors is like a thing you do when you're not good enough to run. I don't want to say not good enough, but like you're trying to earn your way to the letters outdoors. Like, in other words, it's because like, we're talking about the women. Who are we expecting to see?
If you look at the women's 100-meter final from the Olympic Games last year, right? Okay. The final, Julien Alfred, she's not running the 60 indoors this year. Sha'carri Richardson, she's not running the 60. Melissa Jefferson, she's not running. So we already have the podium not running the 60.
Okay, so who in fourth and fifth were?
Daryl Nita finished fourth.
I don't expect to see it.
She's not running. TT Terry, she finished fifth.
The same training group, but no, she ain't running.
Exactly. After that,
has she ever?
No,
she's an NCAA champion in the 60 as well.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's a good. So look at all these between Julien Alfred, Melissa Jefferson.
She ran. Well, she ran Kazakhstan,
but she's not running throughout the season. I don't think she's running through the rest of the season. I would love to see her, but I don't think so. It seems like
he's like, full disclosure.
Yeah,
we invite you to come.
Yeah, but I mean, you're talking about all these women, like from the race that everyone was watching, right? That is the one race that everyone watches every 4 years, but none of them are going to run a full season. And we saw Julien Alfred not even in the event that matches that.
Wait, for the moment, I mean, I know not to cut you off. I'm saying, like, can we just give Tia Clayton credit for running a 60?
No, it's true. And I actually thought she did very well.
Race?
Yeah.
Can we give her credit? Okay.
Yeah.
Because at this point, let's just go to the rest of the final. I just want to see if anybody else is going to run a race.
So you had Tia Clayton, you had Marie-José Talu, not running. She's not running indoors.
We've seen her indoors in a long time, if ever.
No, I don't think. I don't even know. Since 2018, she actually got silver, I think, in 2018. But you have Mujinga Kumbunji from Switzerland. She made the final in the 100, and she ran already this year. She might run because there's like European indoors.
Okay, so that's two people we can give a star just for like showing up and running one.
And that's the Olympic 100-meter final, like the fastest women in the world, right?
Yeah, so that is the state of the 60-meter dash.
I mean, is there a reason for them? Like, should we see more of these women running the 60, especially in a World Indoor year?
First off, we be acting like medals is like candy. Anybody can just go out and get them. Like, you got to get them how you got to get them how you can. But let's even go here. I believe that it's a rite of passage. Winning the World Indoor. I mean, aside from the preparation part, I view it as a rite of passage. And I say that because I'm not looking at the whole list. I just remember these names. I looked at the list and I thought Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price. And I thought Veronica Campbell-Brown. I said, I'm done. Because we know how great they were.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Veronica Campbell-Brown, she went to World Indoors and came away with a gold medal in a 60.
Yeah.
For a woman who people think of as a 200-meter runner more than anything else.
Yeah. Actually, now that you mention it, which is actually crazy, I'm thinking back to 2012 at the Olympic Games. You had Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price. She won the 100-meter gold. Carmelita Jeter, she won 100-meter silver. and Veronica Campbell-Brown, she won 100-meter bronze at the 2012 Olympics. Of course, they all have other medals as well. All three of them, they've run the 60 and they've gotten medals. Shelly-Ann, Veronica, and Carmelita Jeter. She also has, I think, a world indoor bronze. So it's crazy to think that now.
That was about a decade ago, right? So now 12 years?
Yeah.
13 years almost?
Yeah. So now coming off this Olympics, we're not seeing any of these women. But I think it's like a two-way. I think some women should run, and I would love to see them run indoors. But I also understand that, like, it doesn't, some women don't run, and like some athletes just don't run, and they get success that way. Where, like we said, Sha'carri has not stepped indoors since she was a freshman at LSU, indoors. But for the most part, she's a world champion in the 100-meter dash. She's an Olympic silver medalist. She's run 10.65, one of the fastest in history. So maybe for her, indoors just isn't necessary, right?
I mean,
but I don't know.
But the other half of it, you say it's not necessary. How did she get beat in the Olympic final? How did she get beat in the Diamond League final?
That's a good point.
What the 60 is about.
That's a good point. Julien Alfred definitely got her.
I'm not disrespecting her in any way, shape, or form. In the comment section, if you want to say what you got to say, you can. But allow me to clarify. I'm fully aware that Sha'carri Richardson's superpower is her top end. It's awe-inspiring to watch how once she's there, when she's in top gear and she's rolling, it don't feel like that anybody else in that race has a chance as long as she can get there in position. But she got to get there in position. I'm not saying that she needs to be the best starter in the world. I'm also not saying that. Could she be more efficient in the first half of a race to get herself in position to run the second half more consistently, where instead of I'm gonna run you down and run away, which is what it feels like if you watch most of her races, I would love to see her do what Bolt started doing, which was at 50 and 60, I'm there with you. Not behind you, not a step behind you. I'm there. And now it's my time. Like that's not how we've grown accustomed to watching her run races, including her world championship race. That's not the script. The script was not, I'm there with you, I'm leaving. The script was, I'm going to run you down and get to this line. Interestingly enough, one of the reasons why I presume, like, I can see that, like, for her brand, it's unnecessary. Like, I get on one end, it makes no sense on the brand. And on the other, and like with that, she has enough outdoor success. But I still believe that it would benefit her to run the 60 indoors in a different way. Maybe a different type of benefit, but no, she wouldn't be a lock to win it. And by not a lot, I mean, if we're looking at the time people are putting on the boards, yeah, she's going to have to fight to get to a final at World Indoors.
I mean, of course,
it's not a lock. It's like, oh, I got to try.
You have to work. You have to really work for it. And it's fair. I mean, it'd be interesting. I think it'll be interesting to see how Julien Alfred does, because she's coming off 2023. She was in the NCAA, dominated the 60 all year, went outdoors to her first Worlds. She didn't get on the podium yet, but that was her first, just coming off the NCAA. She still ran indoors in 2024, got the gold medal, and then followed it up outdoors, continued on with that trajectory. Now she's not going to be running indoors. How will things kind of shift for her? I think this might be smart for someone like Julien Alfred, because she's being a little more strategic now, where, okay, I'm a little bit, a year into my professional career. I'm looking a little bit long-term in terms of maybe I don't need to race as frequently. Maybe I just need to make sure things are a little more steady. So maybe I don't need to do a full indoor season. Just do 1 or 2 races, make sure I'm ready for outdoors.
Well, I mean, to what you're saying, Julien Alfred ain't got nothing to prove in the 60 though.
She doesn't.
She's 200 of what? These are two totally different narratives. She's 200 off of the world record in that event. She dominated it while she was in college. You got to understand, the world championship she won, first off, I think that was for St. Lucia. I totally believe that.
Of course.
Like, for the nation, that means a lot more for them than it does, like, for America to win a world indoor championship. But beyond that, it's almost like for her, she needed to get the medal because she'd done everything else. Like, she would have been the world indoor champion in years prior, perhaps, if she were running there and not at the NCAA.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
So as a result, like, she needed to get one to be like, just to let y'all know I could do it. Like everybody knew I was supposed to do it, and then I did it. For her, like, shout out to Iwa Svoboda, like, and what she did to, like, because it was a close race.
It was, but
Julien Alfred was supposed to win.
Yeah.
Anything less than that would have been a failure. Like, this just for like as a track fan and as somebody who watches the races, anything less than that would have been a failure. So, but once we get to everybody else though who doesn't run indoors, I'm sorry. I want to understand. If you win a gold, then with me you get a pass. Once you get a gold, you ain't got to go back indoors because you did it. I climbed to the top of the mountain. Now I can focus on other things.
Yeah.
If you haven't climbed to the top of the mountain, to me, it seems like there's a benefit there.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, like run USA's, or run, do your qualifier, whatever it is. You don't even got to run a whole indoor season. I ain't tripping on that. Go over to World Indoor, take a crack at it. Like I get it. Like, if for those who don't, it's just as fans, like it hurts the sport when these events are going to happen, whether we like it or not. And I prefer to watch them with the top athletes.
But I'll be fair where at least in 2025, the World Outdoor Championships is very, very late in the year. So a lot of athletes are kind of weighing, okay, do I want to spend my time running indoors, competing frequently, just so that, I got to now prepare all the way until September for the actual meet that matters. Like, all due respect, but like indoors for someone is not going to matter as drastically as the outdoor season is going to matter. Not only when it comes to like recognition, competition, performances, but then also whatever their contracts, say, whatever, all these kind of, endorsements and sponsorships, those things also might play a part into them deciding, if they're going to run indoors. They might not want to risk injury throughout the, indoors to, be injured and then you can't even compete outdoors. All those things I think in 2025 definitely come into play. So especially with these top names, they're like, if I'm already good, why spend my time running the indoor season? I would love to see it, but I can understand it.
All I can close on is we're going to have a World Indoor Championship and they're going to hand out a gold medal to somebody for the women's 60-meter dash. And at this point, I don't think anybody's going to recognize one of the names that get a medal, but get gold. Any of the medalists, I don't think we're going to recognize any of those names. Because again, it goes back to like the whole, VIP party situation. When one person said they're not going, they're like, oh, so you not going? Am I going?
I'm good.
You see what I'm saying? It's like, like the only people going are people who feel like they have no choice. They got to take what they can get.
So yeah, we might end up with someone who's gets a gold medal at World Indoors, who most people just simply don't know. And it's all due respect to, whichever athletes. I love someone like a Mujinga Kumbuji. She's, in my opinion, one of the best sprinters in a while, especially coming out of Switzerland. But, she's not at the quote unquote top tier yet in terms of that A-list, where she hasn't won an outdoor gold medal yet. She has an indoor 60 gold, but, there's different levels in a sense.
Hey, let's just keep in mind, Julien Alfred, she's the Olympic gold medalist in the 100, but what did she do right before?
Yeah.
I rest my case.
My name is Anderson from The Final Leg.
And I'm Coach Rob from SCA Track and Field. And thank you for watching this segment from The Finish Line.
If you want to know what's really going on at the high school and college level, be sure to subscribe to Coach Rob Track and Field.
And if you want more content on the best track and field athletes in the world, be sure to subscribe to The Final Leg.